Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. This is the 2024 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport Touring, and in today's video here at Holmes Honda, I'm going to give you the information to answer the question, is this the ultimate hybrid crossover SUV? It definitely has a lot going for it, that's for sure. All-wheel drive has multiple benefits, especially if you live in an area where it snows a lot. The height of the vehicle is right for dealing with snow. You have all-wheel drive that's going to obviously help you with traction in the snow, and even if you don't live in an area where it snows a lot, maybe you get a lot of rain, the roads get slick, that's going to be helpful as well. Among other things, such as great gas mileage and still plenty of power, plenty of torque. So let's dig in a little bit deeper into this model and see exactly what it's all about. If you want to know more about this model at Holmes Honda, check out the link down in the description of the video. The exterior color on this model is platinum white. It has a black interior, and real fast I do want to show you something here on the black interior, and that is the fact that it's nicely broken up where it's not all black. You can see the orange contrast stitching that's going to work its way into a few different areas of the interior, so it's not just all black and it doesn't have the white contrast stitching. That really helps just to kind of make things, well, look a little bit nicer, at least in my personal opinion. And as far as your exterior lighting goes, you're going to have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights. And here on the front end, the gloss black grille, a nice sporty look, that's for sure. And it drives the same way that it looks, just as sporty. You're gonna have the active air curtains, even though it's probably going to be kind of difficult to see all the way through there. I don't know if I can do that on this side any better, but let's take a look. I'll show you where the air comes all the way through, just in case you're curious. It comes through right here. That helps to improve aerodynamics. It reduces drag. That's a good thing. And you know this model is all-wheel drive. What about the tire and wheel size? We're looking at 235 on our width, a 55 series sidewall wrapped around the gloss black 19-inch wheels that really seem to fit this particular model. Chrome or something else along those lines, brushed aluminum, whatever it might be, in my opinion, just wouldn't work in this particular case, but tell me what you think. And we're going to have the power adjustable heated side view mirrors. They are manually folding, and they do have the turn signal indicators built in. And how about the remote? Here you go. It has everything you're looking for, including a remote start. You can open and close the power lift gate, and it is a proximity key. It does have the walk-away feature. LED taillights will finish things off, and if you come and buy this model, here's a nice little instruction sticker that you can use if you need to know how to use this power lift gate back here. It's not that difficult, that's for sure, but you're supposed to peel it off after you're finished. It's almost as if it's a Mission Impossible sort of thing, something like that. The Sport and Touring logo is right there, CR-V and Hybrid. And you do have the exhaust finishers back here that gives it a nice look. Some people like that, some people don't. Some car makers have gone away, even when they have a vehicle that's maybe a hybrid or even a non-hybrid, they've gone away from having the exhaust outlets like this, or finishers we'll say, even though in this case they're not connected. A clean look when you don't have those? Yeah. Would you rather have them back here? Tell me what you think. It's just cosmetic, but everybody has their different desires and thoughts on that. And something you can see from this angle, you do have a sunroof, but it is the conventional size. I know a lot of you would like to see a panoramic sunroof. Not yet, maybe sometime in the future. Tell me what your preference is where that's concerned. And two important points here. Number one, if you're that person saying, Tom, I don't want a turbocharged engine under the hood of my CR-V, what are my options? This is your only option. You're going to have to go hybrid to do that, at least for a 23 or a 24 model, because what you have here is the dual electric motor setup combined with the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. The good news about that is that you don't have to worry so much about charge capacity, because when it gets down to a certain point, the gas engine kicks on. As long as you have gas in the gas tank, you're going to continue driving down the road. Combined horsepower and torque between the two, 247 pounds-feet of torque, made it to an eCVT. And how about those all-important MPGs? That kind of rhymed. I didn't mean for it to, but it did anyway. So here's what we have. 40 city, 34 highway, 37 combined, and 2.7 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And if you're saying, well, how far can I drive? On battery only, in EV mode basically. 34 miles is the number that I've been given. And if you want to tow with your CR-V, well, the numbers are going to be different depending on whether or not you go with the CR-V hybrid or the non-hybrid version. The non-hybrid, 1,500 pounds. You'll lose 500 pounds of towing capacity with the hybrid version. That's what we have here. And you have a couple of different options here. You can kick your foot under the bumper to get this power rear door to open, or the way I like to do it is to just swipe my foot across like that. No big deal. And you can change the height of the rear door very easily. All you do is move it to the position where you want it to be, and then you hold the button down and listen for the beeps, and you're good. That's taken care of. And how about cargo capacity? 39.3 cubic feet up to 76.5 cubic feet. You have the interior lighting back here. It's going to provide plenty of light after dark. You also have the handy dandy 12-volt power outlet. Now, one thing that is going to be different here, because of the electric motors and where everything is positioned basically under the floor right here, there's not room for a spare tire. So there's not a spare tire. There is a tire repair kit, however, just something to be aware of. And then if you want to maximize cargo capacity, you can let the seats down. We'll do both sides because I know a lot of you like to see that, just so you can see how everything looks. So here we go. And that also gives me the advantage of being able to show you how flat the seats lie. You can see, and I can probably push this other one down just a little bit more, or if we release the seat belt right there, that would actually let it go down all the way and be just as flat as this side. So there you go. That's what you have where that's concerned. And I don't know how well you can see everything, but here is the window sticker for those of you who say, Tom, show us the window sticker. We like to see that. A little bit hard to see because of the glare that we have out here, but here is the price, $41,280. Now, there are some changes or additions, I should say, that Holmes Honda has added. Let's see if we have a better angle. Here we go. It's a little bit better. And you can see what has been added and the additions to the price, just so you can see what all is here. I don't know if every single dealership does that. That's what they do here at Holmes Honda, but the good news is you're getting some additions such as wheel locks, window tint, things like that. And if you're wondering, what is the tint? So here's what we have. The front windows are tinted at 40%. You're gonna have 25% on these rear windows. And on the back window, it's going to be 12%. And for those who say, Tom, what does that percentage mean? That's the amount of light that is allowed in through the windows. And let's talk about what your rear seat passengers will find. Is the armrest comfortable? It seems like it is. I haven't been able to leave my arm up there for a long enough time to know for sure. Sometimes when you push on it like that, it seems kind of firm, but when you put your arm up there, it feels more comfortable. There's more of that orange contrast stitching we talked about earlier, a decent sized door bin. And another question I know a lot of people like to have answered: can you recline the rear seats? As you can see, you can do that, both sides. I left one side up just for convenience purposes to show you what that looks like. And the fold down armrest right here, I have to say something here that I really like. For rear seat passengers, if you have two people back here and they both have a drink in each drink holder, they can still use the armrest as an armrest. Normally you would have the drink holders right here. That really kind of defeats the purpose of being an armrest. And then we're going to have air conditioning vents and USB options right there. And I talked about the sunroof earlier, the conventional size sunroof. Here's how it looks from the interior. And for those who might want a larger armrest and a larger door bin, well, you better hurry up and call Shotgun, because that's where you're going to find the larger armrest and door bin, minus the teenagerly voice crack right there. It's okay to laugh. And you're going to find power seats for the driver and the passenger. Let me reach up here and reduce the light coming in just a little bit. Nice seats, very comfortable. And then we'll take a look across the dash here as far as the overall design of everything. If you're a fan of the 11th generation of the Honda Civic, but say, you know what, I need an SUV or a hybrid crossover at least. The good thing is you have a combination of both right here, because this is based on the same platform as the 11th generation of the Civic. And we'll open the glove box. Remember I talked about the wheel locks earlier? Here's where you'll find your wheel lock key that makes it possible. Get a tire to use to change if you need to, or whatever the situation is. That's where that is for whoever needs to know. And then we're going to find more connectivity, a couple of USB options and a 12-volt power outlet. Also, the wireless charging pad. And good news for those who do not care for the push-button shifter. You don't have one here. And that's nothing new for the CR-V. It's just in a different place as of 2023. And then here's our drive mode selector, hill start assist, and hill descent control, and power parking brake, brake hold mode, cup holders, the shifter boot right here. And again, going to have that orange contrast stitching. And depending on where you position the seats, you can take advantage of the lid for the center console as an armrest. And then within the center console, quite a bit of space here. You have the little tray that is removable. It can be placed in two different positions or left out altogether. And just to show you what all is here on the upper console, in case you're curious, you can see you have the control right here for opening and closing the sunroof. It does slide and tilt open. And then there is also a sunglass holder. And one thing I forgot to mention about these power adjustable side view mirrors is that you do have your blind spot information system built in. So that's good to know. Seat memory, that's nice to have. And then we're going to have all of our typical controls here for controlling the side view mirrors and the windows, all that good stuff. You can open and close the power lift gate right there. Traction control can be turned on or off. Also can adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel by dropping that lever. And make sure you put that back in place before you take off down the road after you have adjusted the steering wheel. It is a heated steering wheel, by the way. And then here are our instrument gauges, our instrument cluster with the gauges. And right down here with your steering wheel mounted controls, if you push that button, that home button right there, it's going to bring you to this place. You can use the scroll wheel next to that to scroll through a lot of different information. That's always helpful with the vehicle. Speaking of steering wheel mounted controls, here is everything that you have where that is concerned. And if you want to adjust regenerative braking, that's going to help to keep your batteries charged, or your battery charged, I should say. You can adjust that up or down, and that's using kinetic energy with the vehicle to actually keep that charge capacity up, just taking advantage of what's available. Nice to have. And depending on how you want that to work, you can adjust that in either direction. You can control the headlights right here and the taillights, everything right there. And use your blinkers as well. Some of you know what that lever is for beyond just controlling the lights, and some of you don't. Over here, you know what this is for, I think, because you use it all the time, unlike that blinker lever over there. The control for the front and rear window wipers. And the 9-inch touchscreen in this particular case. It is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible. Wireless connectivity for your cell phone, so you don't have to have a USB cable. You do have built-in navigation. We'll let that come up if it comes up. There we go. Sometimes it's a little slow to come up, but you can see what is there. And I don't think that we're getting the flickering effect we sometimes get through the lens of my GoPro. But if you do see anything like that, it's not actually happening in real time. And I did pair my phone already so you can see how everything looks. I do have an iPhone, so that's what we're going to have through Apple CarPlay. Just so you can see right there. If you want to see the power flow meter, you can see what's going on with the vehicle. MPGs, all that kind of stuff, your range in miles as far as you can drive. All of that is here. And obviously you can go in and make a lot of changes to vehicle settings right here if you want to. Very easy to figure out what you're looking for because everything has a very nice graphic, very clear, easy to deal with. And you can go into general settings too right here, just as easy to deal with. So a very simplistic system to use. Dual zone climate control here in the front. We can sync those two together. In fact, I'm going to turn that down because it is warming up a little bit. I can turn off the heated seat right there, but you do have 3 stages for the heated seats for the driver and the passenger. And before we hit the road for our test drive, here is the multi-view rear view camera. So you have 3 different views. You can see what you have here. A clear view that's going to be helpful in a multitude of ways. And earlier, I showed you the drive mode selector. Well, you might be saying, well, what are the drive modes? Well, we start with normal. I'm going to go back down here and we'll just go through this. You can see the graphic that comes up with the driving mode. You'll go to Econ next. And you also have snow mode. That's perfect if you live in that area where it snows. And last, but most certainly not least, you have sport mode. Okay, here on the test drive, let's talk a little bit about what it's like to drive this CR-V. It has a nice, comfortable ride quality. The interior itself is comfortable, and that's a good thing because sometimes you'll find vehicles that have one or the other, but not both, and so essentially it cancels out the ability to have a good, comfortable ride quality. Even if the shocks and suspension are worthy, the seats may not be comfortable, or maybe the other way around. So it just depends. And acceleration is not an issue here. I don't think anybody buys a CR-V for the purpose of racing anybody, unless it's maybe someone in another CR-V. I don't know, maybe. But it's not meant to be really fast, but it definitely has no problem getting down the road, getting up to speed when necessary. Merging into traffic will not be a problem. Driving around slower moving traffic, definitely no issue. Handling is good too because you have a nice tight turning radius. A very maneuverable vehicle, good for big city driving. Overall, that area, definitely very good. And the technology here is also easy to deal with. You know, while there are cosmetic changes, the technology is just as easy to learn and use as it has ever been in the past. So don't let that scare you away, especially for those of you who have held on to your vehicles for maybe 20 years or more and you've never seen this kind of technology in a vehicle you've owned before. Once you learn it, it's no big deal. And keep in mind, you're in the right place right now to be able to take full advantage of learning the technology because YouTube has so many tutorial videos. I make some. A lot of people do. So you can watch those as many times as necessary to learn about what's going on here. It's a real simple setup to use. Convenient. Comfortable interior with plenty of space for the driver and the passengers, and you have plenty of cargo capacity in the rear back there that obviously has a few different ways of configuring things, even though I laid both seat backs flat earlier just to show you what that looks like maximized. You can just lower one side or the other depending on your situation. So a lot of versatility where that is concerned. Overall, a very nice vehicle in a multitude of ways. I'm curious to know what you think. Do you want more horsepower? Maybe some other driving mode? I don't know. Just tell me what your thoughts are on that. I will say this, I've been driving in Econ mode as opposed to sport mode, and still acceleration is what I would consider very much acceptable. No problems getting down the road. And for those of you who made it to this point in the video, here's a little bonus for you with a sampling of the Bose Premium 12 speaker audio system. Okay, hopefully that's enough for you. I just wanted to give you a sampling because I know a lot of you ask about that. I'm going to try and do that in more videos because, well, it's something I know that is part of the vehicle that you like to know about. And after that teenagerly voice crack earlier in the video that you probably laughed at, it's time for me to kind of reduce how much I'm saying and let you talk, even though you're just going to leave a comment instead of actually talking. Wouldn't that be interesting if people left comments on videos with videos? I don't know if that will ever happen here on YouTube. That would be entertaining. But I do want to hear what you have to say, or read what you have to say. Is the 2024 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport Touring the ultimate hybrid crossover SUV? That is a mouthful, but an easy question to answer most likely. Tell me what you think and tell me why you answered the way that you did. Is there anything that you wish Honda had done differently with this particular generation of the CR-V? I'm curious to see what you have to say. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me this CR-V for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing or just learn about, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.